Okay, so for this one we don't have graphs, but we need to write an exponential equation for each of the following given the properties provided. Okay, so remember, we'll start up here with A. We always are looking for A times B to the power of X plus C. Okay, or B, the base is our B. So for this one, I know that my B is going to be 3. If the function is decreasing, that means that it would look like, so there's our X and Y, it's going to be decreasing like this. Okay, where originally we were looking at ones that was increasing like this. Okay, so what's happening is that it's getting flipped over the y-axis. When it gets flipped over the y-axis, all that changes is the sign in front of our x. Okay, because it's our x values that are changing, so our sign gets flipped to negative. So for A, I have y equals, this one does not mention anything about if it's vertically stretched or compressed, so it's safe to assume that it's going to be 1. So then my B value is 3, and since it's decreasing, I'm going to have a negative x. Okay, and then the horizontal asymptote is at y equals negative 2, so that means that it was shifted down 2. So that's my equation for the first one. For B, the base of the exponential function is 3. The function is reflected over the x-axis. So this time, our function is reflected this way. So it's going to be going like this. Okay? When it's getting reflected, it's going to be in front of the A. That determines if it's reflected over the x-axis or not. So here, because it is, so it's been reflected over the x-axis, we know that it's going to be a negative. Okay? It doesn't mention anything about compressed or stretched, so it's safe to assume that it's going to be 1. And then we have 3 to the power of x. Okay, so then, so it's translated 1 unit to the left. And just like our quadratic functions to the left, it's going to be a positive. So, and it's got to be done right next to our x value. So it's going to be x plus 1, showing that it's been shifted to the left. And then it's shifted up 5 units, so then it's just plus 5. Okay, so then for C, the base of the exponential function is 2. So since it's vertically stretched, so it's vertically, that's what our A value is going to be. So it's going to be y equals 3 over 2. And then I know that my base is 2, so it's going to be 2 to the power of x. But let's just, and then it's reflected in the y-axis. So again, it's reflected over the y-axis. So it's our x value that changes from positive to negative. So it's going to be a negative x. It's not moved left or right. The next thing is that it has an asymptote at y equals 2. So that means that our asymptote of 0 moved up 2 to plus 2. Okay, and then this is honestly just thrown in there to throw you off, but you don't actually need to use it here. This is the equation for C.